Fire signs. Alright, so this is our love reading for this month of November. For those of you that are Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising sign. I've been wanting to do some YouTube tarot readings for quite some time. I've been a little bit hesitant on doing so, but I'm gonna go ahead and give this a shot. Now, let's go ahead and start your reading. We have the Knight of Wands that's in your underlying energy. So this is your energy. This is how you come off at this time. With the Knight of Wands, he's a person or that energy that's very motivated, very go-getter. He knows what he wants and he goes after it. Some of you must be, dating and even talking to a particular person, and you're just putting all of that attention to this person. You're really into this person. You're going after them. You're trying to woo this person, and even if you're even married and you just haven't lost that spark, right? You haven't lost the flame that kindles between the two of you. And for singles, this could even be that you're out looking for love. You're out doing, finding a mate, finding a potential partner. With the past, you have the Eight of Wands. Now, this could be your energy of having to fall in love too quickly. Some of you must be falling in love too fast, and some of you could be leading into a wrong or a bad relationship, not giving it enough time to really build a solid foundation and a good trust between the two of you, and you kind of just rush into it because feelings may be neutral, or it's just that honeymoon phase. It's just that adrenaline of liking somebody, and I mean, love can make you do crazy things, right? And it could be a little bit shocking. I mean, you can see the girl here in this image that she's pretty surprised about how fast things are going. And, some of you must have been even traveling from out of country, out of state, into a new area, and you found a potential partner, and it kind of led to a fast-paced movement in the relationship. And with your position, you have the Star. Now, the Star talks about hope, and it's talking about, even maybe most of you guys were thinking about moving in your past, and it will even help find a potential partner for some of you. Even switching, I feel like also you might have been switching jobs and in a different area within the same city, and hoping that things will be a little different, because it seems like there could have been a same routine of your daily life, that nothing's kind of changed, and you're just hoping for something new, right? You're kind of looking out up in the sky and just kind of looking for a new way, a new environment with that. And in your future, this is the Five of Wands, and with the Five, it's like there's conflict, there's issues. And for some of you that are in relationships, it's just having arguments. I want to say, like, that's kind of some arguments. It's a very heated, passionate anger for some of you. Now, for those of you that are single, you might be kind of frustrated with yourself, because things or not frustrated with yourself, but with what what the stars have aligned for you. And some of you might not be happy with how things are going, that you haven't maybe found your potential partner just yet. And for some of you that are in a relationship, this could also be other people involved in your relationship, and they're just kind of giving their opinions here and there, or maybe even making up rumors, kind of stirring the pot, because they're probably envious of what you have with somebody, right? That they just don't want to see you in a good relationship, because they themselves don't have a very good relationship with who they're with, or they're just very envious of, it's like having the it couple, and most of you guys might be the it couple. With the King of Swords, he's a very strategized type of energy. He's authority. He's very strong. He has to think and strategize before what his next move is going to be, before he takes action. And I think that's what the Knight of Wands is, why he's above the King of Swords. You know, you're having that, and this is your heart of the reading. This is you having to come off very strongly, and some of you must have taken some time to be this energy, to be the King of Swords. You know, he's very strong. He's ready to take on the fight. He's ready to, you know, give his opinion and kind of. He's that person that his tongue is like a sword. Whatever he says, it just cuts you so deep, right? And like I said, strategizing, this is what these two cards kind of represent. You know, you're trying to find the next move with your partner. You're trying to might find another level in your relationship, and you're going for it, right? With the foundation, you have this Ace of Swords. Now, this can bring up a lot of new ideas in your relationship. I feel like some of you can be dealing with bettering your, you know, intimacy here. That it comes up with new ideas to make things very heated, and you have a lot of swords here, a lot of swords and a lot of wands. Like there's a lot of there's good communication, you know, interference with for some people. There's a lot of passion going on, you know, and it just seems like a lot of new ideas. Things are kind of going well for some of you that are in a partnership, you know, and this is coming from an outside source as well. Like I feel like some of you have been given also an opportunity outside of your area, and that's probably what is happening. You know, regardless if you're in a relationship or married, it's kind of leading you to having to move, right? And maybe that's what the conflict is. Maybe that's what the conflict is, that there's a lot of having to plan, you know, and it's just causing a lot of commotions with your work, with your relationship, with your personal life, with everything. Like it's just a lot to take on, right? I can see that some of you are taking the opportunity over love, and I mean, some of you must be like just getting into a relationship, maybe a good, you know, 5 to 6 months in the relationship, and I feel like some of you have gotten your job that you've been wanting, and it's causing, you know, I feel like some confusion is happening. Like, should I choose my partner over this job? You know, and that's what it is. It's a lot of thinking, you know, and I feel like that's what that is, the star. That's why it shows up, because you're finding that hope. What's the best decision that I can make, right? With the, you know, your obstacle here is the Eight of Swords. Now, the Eight of Swords it's all mental. It's all, you know, you kind of tangled yourself up in a situation more than you have. You know, I think with all the commotion, all the chaos, everything that's being stirred up, it's kind of left you at what's the right facing, right? You know, and that's what's kind of the conflict here in your present position. I feel like some of you need to kind of go to a quiet place, and I don't mean literally like go into a quiet room and just kind of sit there for an answer. Mostly it's like you need to meditate, right? This is I feel like that's what the Eight of Swords is also talking about, is that you kind of need to isolate yourself a little bit, and just kind of meditate on what your choices are. You know, what's the best decision. And you know, with the advice, you have Temperance. For most of you, I feel like, and especially having to be a fire sign, patience may not be the best, you know, characteristics that some may have. But it's just, you need to be patient. I feel like things are going to work out on its own. Sometimes that may be the case. You have to take action. But I think with the universe kind of working itself, it's going to unravel and help you make your decision. Now, so let's get some more insight here with sacred travelers. Let's see what they have in store for you guys. What are the messages for fire signs? Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. What is it that they need to know? What can we best provide for them? Okay. Alright, so we have passion and pleasure. Savior your life. Man, this is really hard. This is kind of like, you know, passion over pleasure. This kind of speaks for itself. It's having to choose between love or work, right? Your dream job. And, you know, I want to go ahead and read the message between that. Passion and pleasure. Alright, so passion and pleasure. It says, find joy in the moment. No matter what is occurring in your life, you are simply focused on what is wonderful and pleasurable in the moment. Everything improves. Love often and live fully. Cherish your friendship. Fill your life with people, experiences, and places that give you delight and joy. Let go of those people and things that don't appreciate or empower you. Give yourself permission to be happy. You know, that's probably what the Five of Swords is like. You need to kind of forget about what people are talking about, things that are not benefiting you, that they just need to cut them out of your life, because they're not in for your highest good. Let's see, what do we have for Keepers of the Light? What is the messages for fire signs? Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. What is it that we can best provide their message, their clarity, and more insights? What is it that we can help them with? Alright. So, call to action, take charge, lead by example, walk your talk. Alright. So, basically, this is kind of holding onto your word, right? You need to be the example. You need to show people that, you know, even though people don't agree with what you're saying, you have to kind of, not maybe even prove it to them, but prove it to yourself that whatever it is, it can work. For some of you that are trying to even balance out having to, you know, be away from your partner for quite some time, because this is a sacrifice, right? I mean, you can, sometimes I feel like you can have your cake and eat it too, but in a situation where you're with your partner and still having your dream job, right? It's just a matter of how to manage those two. And especially if you have a solid foundation of trust and understanding and good communication, I think it will play out well for you guys. So let's go ahead with the next oracle card of Wisdom of Avalon. What are the messages of fire signs? Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. What can we best provide for that for this month? Okay, so we have the Wasp, anger, jealousy. That's what I was talking about. So I feel like everything's kind of focused on the Five of Wands. People are very jealous of what you have with your partner. You know, having to have, it's like you have everything that everybody wants. You know, like they're just so jealous. How come they can't have it as well? You know, and these people are very toxic, clearly. I mean, they're just not agreeing with what you have. And some of you, this is for some of your friends, some of your relatives. And I honestly say, you know, if you're very supportive, you would, good that you're giving your, you know, your idea and how you feel, that's fine. But it just seems like there's just a lot of commotion here. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a lot of people. It could be just a third party. This can be like your mother or father or grandparents or whoever is kind of giving their opinions repeatedly, and it's just kind of a little bit repetitive, that it just really needs to stop. And you just kind of have to trust within your own relationship, because everybody's always going to talk about other people. So let's go ahead with one more with angel prayers. What are the messages for fire signs? What is it that we can best provide for them? Clarity, understanding, and insight. For the angels, what are the messages for them? Inner voice. It says, thank you, angels, for guiding me through my inner voice. Now, like I said, it's you having to isolate yourself in a way of kind of shutting out the world for a minute, just kind of meditate, and even your guides, even, whatever your religion may be, your ancestors, your spirit guides, the higher power, they're going to help you on making right decisions. And I feel like you just have to trust on what you're doing as well. You just have to trust, because there's just a lot of motivation coming between you and your partner. And I feel like some of you, your partner don't even mind that you may be going away, right? For some of you, they may be moving. And it just seems that it's just temporarily. Like they know that you got to do what you have to do. But I feel like all this at the same time, some of you must be feeling some kind of regret, like maybe I shouldn't have moved, or maybe I shouldn't move because my partner's going to be by themselves and they're going to be alone, But that's just a sacrifice, It's a little worrisome for some of you, but you have to have hope that in the long run it's going to pay off, and you guys have had a plan from the very get-go. So, I hope that helps you guys, fire signs. Please leave a comment below, subscribe to my channel, and let me know what you guys think. Even if you're, if it didn't resonate with you, it just means that maybe this message wasn't for you guys. But I appreciate getting any kind of feedback. I like to hear what people have to say. If you guys relate, just kind of give me a small description of how this relates to you, what you kind of go through. I also like hearing people's stories. So up until next month, we'll see you guys next time.